realize that this U.S. Supreme Court ruled that you do not, and it is not a privilege of your freedoms to film us, right? You realize?
Howdy, 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 and welcome to the Flying Auditor channel. I am your host, Flying Auditor. Today's topic is going to be 1A, veterans and non-veterans. Before we start, let me put this puppy up here. If you happen to know, or if you are a veteran and happen to know someone who has been abused by the Veterans Administration, please screenshot this and the email associated so we can help those that need help. I'm not a company or anything like that in terms of this, but it's something I've been doing for a long time, is helping vets get what's due them. Let's get into the topic of 1A, veterans and non-veterans. When I started this channel, my intent was to fly, take my plane, and fly that puppy all over the place. And what ended up happening was life. When you get around my age and you've got the maladies I've had manifested and been part of me for 45 plus years from military service, stuff comes to a head, and like an avalanche going down a hill. And over the last many years, there's a crescendo that's happened. Let me just put it to you like that, without going into the details. And I'm not going to be able to fly my velocity. I'm pulling myself out of the flying, out of being a private pilot. I'm not going to kill anybody because of the issues I'm having. It doesn't make sense. My ego isn't that big to where I need to prove myself by jumping in this pusher and flying all over the country. That's a prudent pilot thought process, and therein lies us moving forward. And one of the things I want to tell you as I started this channel was my intent was to fly around to different places that have interest to me. I have got acquaintances and friends I have garnered from this community, and several of them have become close personal friends, where we've spent time, money, and just been around each other for a period of time, and that's good to have. Regardless of your generation, I'm a baby boomer, so all you Gen X's and all you Gen Z's and Gen Y's and what have you, we can all communicate. Of course, our learning styles are different. I was an instructor for 20 plus years, specifically training in a specific spot in the state statutes in the state of Texas concerning agriculture. And I won't go into much more details of that, but I'm an expert in many fields. But when we come to this YouTube deal, and I had one YouTube video that I posted out there about something I had done in the field in my ag days, and it never got any hits because I just didn't care. I mean, quite frankly, if I get monetized, I get monetized. If I don't, I don't. It's no skin off my nose. It's not going to impact my life one way or the other. But I hope my channel, and the intent of my channel was to educate. There are certain topics that I'm an expert in. When it comes to drug dogs and canine and training dogs and looking for narcotics with the dog and finding people in hidden areas and yada yada yada. Taking down people, putting a dog down on them, yada yada yada. I'm qualified. I'm highly qualified. I'm an expert in that field. With 30,000 hours of actually doing this stuff and being part of this stuff over the years, and as a veteran. So, I bring a certain skill set in that I hope my channel will help educate you guys and gals that are actually practitioners of the 1A, of your 1A, your First Amendment. And, I served, just to let you know, I served 8 years, 11 months, signed up 2 different times, contiguously, Cold War, post-Vietnam vet. And one of the things I tell folks, before you criticize another veteran, and I'm talking to you vets, talking to you civilians, you guys who've never served. Chew your cud. That's a Southern term. You know, cows have multi-chamber stomachs, and they chew their cud. So think about that before you say something derogatory, negative, any of those things. Make sure, number one, your facts are straight. It's not seen on another channel. It's not, one of the things I've learned, and I've made mistakes in the past. I'll be the first to admit it, that I've taken some person or some entity's, information as gospel. And there's something that Ronald Reagan said a long time ago, if I'm quoting correctly, and there'll be you guys that'll tell me if I'm wrong. Check, but verify. Trust, but verify. So, and even when I was teaching, I said, just because someone says something to you and they make it sound factual, do you believe them? Disrespect them. And of course, respect is earned, but you don't call them a liar to their face. You go do your own solid research. You employ whatever mechanisms you can to verify and validate statements that you deem truthful. And there's people in my life that all I have to do is pick up a phone call. You can hide behind a YouTube channel. You can hide behind an email address. You can hide behind a URL. I've got people that I know that I have used in the past that saved me a lot of money. I can investigate and find anything about anyone if I so choose. I don't care who you are. It's the advantage of having a little age to you and having some key people and key industries in the U.S. So, if I was going into business for somebody, I run them through and I tell them up front, I'm going to investigate you. I'm going to pull your data. I'm going to make sure you're not a risk. I'll make sure you're not, something that's detrimental to me and my family. And that's what's called prudent. It's a prudent move if you're going to invest yourself in something that is going to cause you to spend money, time, and effort. Because, every one of us has a clock. Every one of us has a ticking clock that's going to eventually quit ticking. Everybody's different. The exact and I used to be in the insurance business long ago. The actuarial tables are different nowadays than way back when I was in insurance. So we all have a finite amount of stuff, resources, time, patience, and all that stuff. So before you go out and just slam a vet and you say my service is better than your service. I'm a combat vet, you're not, so yada, yada, sick on you. Look, I respect my combat vets. I was in the era I was not in combat. And when I got out in 87, stuff started kicking off several years later. I tried to go back in. And because of my disabilities, they wouldn't let me back in. I'm highly trained. I can hang with the best of them, even at this age. I might be a little bit slow, but I think I can still handle some stuff. But especially behind a dog, you put me behind a dog, I'll be okay. But the idea is, we need to treat everybody how we want to be treated. And I've gone off on people at times, and the good thing about this gray hair, that just tells you I've been around a little bit longer. I've been in this category of life for quite a while, and I've been blessed to have this amount of time given to me. And I've been fortunate that I've met a lot of great people through this movement. I'm excited that a lot of you guys that are less age than I am, and even some of you guys my age, are going out there and actually being practitioners of the 1A and just expressing yourself. Up until a year and a half ago, I didn't give a rip. I was just living my life, finishing my flight certificate. Some people call a license, it's a certificate for a flying a plane. I chased that damn ticket for 30 years, and I got it in 2019. And bought my airplane. I've been through multiple airplanes. But that's the thing in the past, and I'm just moving on to a different arena. It's just, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry over the crap that's happening to my body. And for all you guys that have never served, before you go out and criticize a vet and make just some really stupid statements about their service, you know, think before you do it, because it takes a different type of person to sign a dotted line knowing full well that they may never come back to their families. Think about that for a minute. That takes a special breed. And if you can't respect that person that signed the dotted line, you can unsubscribe from me. No doubt about it, because I don't have respect for you. That's a different person that's willing to risk their life, liberty, to defend, our country. Whether you like government or not, I don't give a shit. In my era, post Vietnam, there was nothing going on per se, but I still joined because I believed there was a cause to be had, and I was a 19, 20-year-old dude. So think about that next time you decide to fly off the handle at somebody and make some hot-headed accusation about their service, or trying to one-up them about for you vets that are got combat experience, trying to one-up somebody about your superior time in service versus those that don't have the time in service nor combat experience. My channel is dedicated to vets and non-vets, and I'm going to lean to the vets heavily because I are one of the guys. I've been one for decades, and one of the guys that I just absolutely admire. I absolutely have mad respect for is Blind Justice. Out of all of the channels, and I've got 400 plus subscriptions for vets and non-vets, all types of channels are related to the 1A movement. And I've gotten to know Blind Justice. I've gotten to know him. I've spoken to him. We're not bosom buddies, but I would consider us at least friends, because I know for a fact this guy has been aggrieved. He has been ill-treated worse than anybody out there today, other than those that have been offed. This guy, a blind combat special forces veteran, has been so abused over the years, and his story still has not made it to the mainstream. It hasn't made any news among anybody that claims to want to promote veterans. And Mike knows, and if he watches this, I think he does, and his wife's a wonderful lady. Those are great people. They've got a story that needs to be heard. Everybody has a story, but we've only got so much time, money, and what have you. And I give to those causes that I feel move me. And I've been, for the last 8-10 months, I've been constantly at it every week, trying to find some national outlet that will pick up Mike's story and distribute it. And it's not enough for ratings. There's nothing actively going on to warrant their viewers to look, because they like to see drama, loss of money, loss of life, all the crap you see that makes people subscribe to channels. So this man, if you've not been to his channel, at Blind Justice, this is the real Blind. There's another guy out there that claims to be Blind Justice, but this is the man. Go through his videos, and if it doesn't cause you to get PO'd, something's wrong. There's a term called triggered. I get pretty triggered when I watch abuse by employees, Leos, judges, people of that control certain aspects of what happens when they take advantage of someone that is exercising their First Amendment right for whatever reason, either for press, because they can't remember. It doesn't really matter. The fact is, you've got that right under the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights. And for those that don't understand it, oh well, it is what it is. And I just wanted to share with you guys and gals to let you know that there are a lot of guys in this community I care for that are friends of mine. And for those of you that do know me well enough, some of you know, and I've been fortunate. I've been honored to have this gentleman, the Angry Vet, allow me to, jump on his panels and visit with him and just jackjaw, I call it, a little bit. I know Kevin personally. I know his wife. I know his father-in-law, his dad. I've gotten to know him. Just a great family. Great, and the guy's a vet, no doubt about it. I know it because I know it with no doubt about it. This guy is who he is, and for you haters that say he's not a vet, you're a moron. You need to pull your head out of your butt and get the facts, because you have no clue what you're talking about. I know for a fact this guy is. And if you don't believe it, so what? Those of us who've been around, who've had DD214s, we pretty well know how to out some idiot that's not a DD214 holder. And if you don't know what that is, you'll figure it out. But this guy right here, Kevin the Angry Vet's a great guy, great family guy, and he's got a passion. He's got PTSD. He's been through some shit in his. He's not a paper pusher like some people claim. The guy's been through his world and his experience of life that has caused him some angst in the military. And I'm not going to go into details. It's not my place to do so. But again, this is a good guy who's got a great heart. Stay tuned to his channel. Got some exciting news coming up, no doubt about it. And, just listen and enjoy what you see. So this is just a little temporary, video that I just wanted to bring up, let you know I appreciate Kevin for allowing me on his panels, and all you other guys that have allowed this old dude, can I say that out loud? This old dude, to be part of your channels, because there is a little bit of, I do have 65 years of wisdom and of experience, and I've been all over the world. I've been to a lot of foreign countries. So for you idiots that read about shit on the internet, I've been to those places and experienced stuff, and I'll leave it at that. God bless. I want to say God bless America. God bless the troops that are out there still fighting for our rights to be able to do this on this goofy platform called YouTube. Till we talk, you guys have a wonderful day.